Do you ever feel like you cannot possibly trust your body? Like you're stepping into something and you don't know if your body can keep up or if it will know what to do? I'm here to tell you that trusting your body is one of the most powerful things that you can do as a human and even more so as a dancer. Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous dance baby, and welcome to another episode of More Than Dance. Today, we are talking about trusting your body. Trusting everything about you to begin a journey like dance, to begin dancing, to begin an activity, whatever it is, apply it to you. As you know, I'm going to be talking about dance. Oftentimes, students will come to me on Instagram, they'll pop in my DMs and they'll be like, oh, I want to start, but I don't think I'm ready yet. Or I love dance and I used to do it, but now I don't think I can. I don't know if my body will keep up. What I gather from this is the idea that we don't trust our bodies enough. Now, here's some science for you. The body loves to be challenged. It is welcoming that all the time. It doesn't like complacency. It doesn't like comfort. The body loves and thrives off of change. Think about it in terms of when you're changing your body composition. What is the most helpful for your body to change composition? It's to challenge it, to change it, to do things that you wouldn't really do, and then you do them, and then your body's like, oh. Perfect example actually of this is when people start dancing and then they're like, oh my God, these muscles, like, I don't know if I have like the stamina or the stamina comes when you start dancing. The body's like, oh my goodness, she needs me. I better be there for her. The stamina is not going to come if you don't need it. The strength isn't going to come unless you need it. So when you show your body that you need it, that you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this thing on one hand and I'm going to be on half of one leg and part of a toe of the other one, AKA floor work. Your body's like, oh, it's like that little like muscle peeping up like, whoa, she's calling me this time. Oh, okay, yay, I get to go help her. It's exciting for your body to be challenged and to be put into different places. Now, what can you do to lean on this trust? Well, the first thing is to quiet the mind, because the first thing that's going to happen is your mind is going to say, well, I don't want to look stupid. No one wants to look stupid. I don't want to overthink. Another very common one. I don't know if I'll be able to let go. All of those things actually have nothing to do with your body and everything to do with your mind. So that's why it's always kind of silly to me when someone says like, oh, my body, I don't know. I'm like, trust. And the best example that I can give to you with this is kind of like a funny, slightly related example. So Josh and I just got back from Italy and I told him, I was like, Josh, we are going dancing. And when I say we, I am going dancing and I would like for you to watch. So he's like, okay, when do you want to go? And I'm like, Sunday, because I looked it up and I had this whole thing. And I knew in my heart that I was going to not want to go when the day came because I knew I was going to be tired and it was later at night. And I do something when that happens where I make an arrangement with myself. It's like I make a doctor's appointment with myself. It's like, this is your appointment. You got to go. So when that hour comes, when it's time to go, I can say, I don't want to go. Oh, but I promised myself I would go. And that's exactly what happened this time. I was like, oh, I don't want to go. I want to go to bed. Bed sounds nice. I want to go to bed and snuggle. And he was like, okay, whatever you want. Josh being Josh. And I was like, okay, well, hold on. There's a point to this. I know how much I love dance. I know how much I love dancing in another country. I know how much fun it'll feel. And I know that if it's a good night, it's not just going to be a good night. It's going to be a great night. And so I was leaning into that in terms of like law of attraction as well. Like, okay, if I commit to this, like I'm going to make it awesome and it's not going to be something that we regret. Well, let me tell you, we got a taxi there. It was so cute. We rolled up. I was like, wow, we're going. And it was like this really cool place. We go in, it's cool. We go in, it's even cooler. The dance floor is amazing. The lights are amazing. The ambiance it's everything that you would have wished for. The size is great. There's like a perfect amount of people. We got drink tokens and we're in there and, we don't speak Italian. We know a few words. We can get by a little bit. Josh is like, okay, I think I'm going to go. I'm like, I got to put my shoes on. I'm all ready to go. And we just put our stuff down. And I was like, I just like kind of like hop in when I go out dancing, especially salsa dancing, because that's just how the culture is. You got to show people that you're ready to dance and then they'll dance with you. If I had stayed on the sidelines and no one knew that I was ready to dance, no one would ask me to dance. But I got out there and I was dancing by myself, and I was just like looking at Josh. He was like my safety net. Within a matter of minutes, someone came up to me and asked me to dance. And then within a couple seconds after that, like after that dance, someone else asked me. And then it was just like, okay, I'm just dancing the whole entire night, which is exactly what I wanted. We had our favorite Aperol spritzes ever at this place. Then there was a performance to watch. Then, oh my God, then there was a little Zumba interlude, which was so fun. And obviously I got a front row seat to that, participation wise. And it was just like one of the most magical nights of the whole entire trip. And what made it so magical was dance. And the second thing that made it even happen, and which led to it being magical, is the fact that we trusted our bodies. So we knew that we were not going to be able to lean on language or communication because, in Italy, people do speak English, but not really as much as you might think. We knew that we were going to be speaking through our bodies, and we knew that we were going to be trusting that. We fully committed to the experience, knowing that we're going to have fun when we're going to make it fun, even if it's not. And that's what Josh and I do. We commit to the trust of our bodies leading the way. And if it's not the full body, it's the gut, it's the intuition. It's like knowing like, no, I think this is going to be cool. And if it wasn't, I'm sure we would have figured out a way we would have just taken a taxi back and we probably would have gone, who knows? We would have been led to something cool because that's just what we do when we're on vacation. My point in bringing you this story is this whole idea of trust. I was trusting the fact that the culture of dancing salsa is the same as it is here in the States and in Spain, which is another place that it was the same. And it's come to this idea to me that, and especially through Zumba, which is so funny that came up that night, because there was a moment so I was a licensed Zumba instructor for, 15 years. One of the biggest things with teaching Zumba is that you're not speaking, you're using visual cues. It really got me thinking like, wow, like dance is the most universal language that there is. And why? It's because it's a whole communication through body, through your hands, through the looks. I mean, the signals for salsa dancing are the same worldwide. Mr. Worldwide. They're the same. And it's so cool that they are, because that means you can dance with anyone who knows the language of dance. Even if we weren't dancing salsa, just the fact that we were connecting on a dance floor, moving, using the visuals like of our faces, our interaction, we're communicating. And that's what happens when you get on the dance floor. When you're trusting your body, you're trusting the experience, you're trusting that your body will pick up on the cues that you get to now lean on as a dance learner. You might not have them right now when you're thinking like, well, I don't have dance knowledge right now. You may not know that you do. And then when you step into the room, you know more than you think you know. For example, let's do just a quick exercise right now. And if you're listening, then continue listening. If you're on YouTube, then obviously you can do this with me. Let's just envision that we are in front of each other and we are mirroring each other. That word, mirroring. Have you heard that before? Of course you have. So mirroring someone means you're doing what they are doing as if you were a reflection in the mirror. Guess what? That skill, just the fact that you know that, and if we can like literally do it right now. So my hands are up, I move this hand, then if you're my mirror, you would be moving that hand too. We would be doing the same thing like we were in a mirror. How cool. That skill of just knowing how to do that, you know something about dance. You know more than you think you do, because what do when we get to the dance floor? We look at the mirror and we understand our spatial awareness based off of our reflection in the mirror. The truth is, our body is always ahead of our brain. Picture the body as like the young golden retriever puppy. You're like, want to go for a ride? And the dog's like, yes. You want a treat? Yes. Do you want to go upstairs? Yes. Okay. And the brain is like the cat, the sly kitty cat. It needs to like know everything before it does something. I don't know. I don't know about cats. I do know dogs. And I know that they're excited about anything. Well, your body is excited about it too. And the body doesn't think. The brain thinks. And sometimes that's why we get into these patterns, is because the brain will think and think and think and overthink. and it doesn't lead you on the same path when you trust your body. It's almost like that part releases and it gets unlocked. I'm like thinking like, I don't know, of a video game or something. I don't even know, like something in the magical digital world where like you're climbing upstairs and then boom, that thing just like releases and goes off into the abyss, into the darkness, and you're left on your track. Well, if you can stay close and tight into your body and let your thoughts kind of just like go off into the abyss, you're going to stay focused and you're going to stay on track for doing whatever it is you want to do. The other night, we did Wicked, and last night, we were like, let's do it again. I haven't thought about that dance since Friday, and last night was Monday. And I was like, let's just do it. Let's just see what happens. Logically, I could not remember. I was like, where do we start? How do we do it? My brain was trying to remember everything. And then I said to myself, what I always say is, once the music goes on, we'll know what to do. Sure enough, within a matter of seconds, the music starts and I'm like, oh, I know how we start. Oh, and then once I figured out what it was that we started, we did this whole like arm thing that was like pretty complicated, and we drilled it so much. When I did that, I remember just thinking like, I think my whole thought like went off into the abyss that I was just talking about, because my body was just doing it. I wasn't thinking enough to even know what I was doing at that point, because so many days had passed. So many days, 2 days, 3 days have passed, 2.5 days have passed. And I don't know, my body was just doing it. It was just like, oh, okay, I know how to do it. I remember it. I didn't remember all of it. I just had that moment of being like, whoa, like that's so cool. Like my body just did it. I trusted my body. I trusted the experience. And your brain is always going to want to analyze. It's always going to want control. That doesn't work that well for dance. Dance is about control in terms of technique. It's not about control in terms of you can control everything. It's more about when you do control something on the dance floor, you're controlling your technique. You're controlling the ability to feel, the ability to stay connected, the ability to remember things. But you're not in a control sort of way of thought. It's not like, let me think through this whole entire thing and then I'm going to do it. No, it's almost like stop thinking and start doing. That's how great dancers become dancers. And my ballet teacher will tell this to me all the time. She'll be like, we'll be doing something and I'll be thinking through it so hard, like the conceptualization of what she's anatomically teaching me. I'll be like, oh, but I want to like understand it. And then at some point, I kind of just like release from the idea of understanding it from a logical standpoint. I just start doing, and she's like, yes, that's it. Oh, that's it. I love when I get to that moment, because it's almost like, all right, well, my body did it. It can feel a little disconnected from the brain, but it's almost like that's what we want. We want your brain to go to this magical island of nothingness. It's just like, la, 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 la. I'm on a cloud and I'm just enjoying movement. It's like the connection is there, but it's in a very different, special way. The connection of your brain is like, I'll stop thinking and I'll start enjoying. Think about a roller coaster ride. You're not thinking about the mathematics that it takes for you to unwind and go in centrifugal force and all of that. You're thinking, whoa, this is cool. I'm upside down. Your body is on it and it's like doing things, but you're not controlling like the way that your cheek is moving because of the wind. No, that's not how it happens. You just kind of like let yourself go on the roller coaster, which is wild to go on a roller coaster as an adult, by the way. I did that recently and I was like, oh my God, did I think this was fun? I really do think it's important for you to hear these themes again. And it's this idea of overthinking, comparing, judging ourselves, and the idea that we forget that dance is allowed to be messy. We're supposed to make mistakes. And I think those big themes prevent us from trusting our bodies. Learning dance, if you can let the mind go off into the abyss like we've been talking about, it's very instinctual. It's the most brilliant art form, really, ever, because it's so structured. It has rules, and yet it has ways to break the rules. There's a reason why we have transitions. There's a reason why we play with dynamics. It's because we are the physical representation of music. How cool is that? So if you can listen to a song and vibe with it, you can dance. I am so sick of people telling me, I can't dance, I have no rhythm. You don't know. Who tested that theory? And if you're going to tell me that, I will test that theory. I will tell you. And I will say this, more often than not, I think everyone can dance. I have met one person, in my 14 years of owning a studio, 20 plus years teaching, that had a really tough time with rhythm. One person. And I've taught thousands of people. So when you say, I don't have rhythm, you are limiting yourself without even trying. You are getting so used to making an excuse for yourself that is an easy out instead of telling yourself, okay, well, my rhythm could use some work, but it's never rhythm though. Oh, there's another one I hear. I have 2 left feet. In terms of what? Who said that? Who said that to you? That is so like not a thing. Guess what people do have trouble with? They have trouble with memory. That would be probably the hardest thing that people have trouble with. Guess what else people have trouble with? They have trouble with telling themselves it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn. So you mean to tell me it's not about rhythm and it's not about the technique in the beginning? No, it's not. It's about trust. Trusting that you can do it. Trusting that your body will follow suit. You can walk, right? You can roll. I mean, we don't need to get there, but I worked with people who are disabled and I've taught them how to dance. I used to teach one-on-one with people with disabilities, all types of disabilities. They danced. We had a class. I forget where it was. It was cute. It was super cute. So it's not about what you think it's about. And it's time to release that belief. It's time to let it go. And it's time to lean into trust. And think about this for a second. How much fun would it be if you really did lean into it and you could trust with your whole heart that if you stepped into a room that you could learn something, or if you stepped into a music studio, you could figure it out, or if you hired the right professionals, someone who actually knows how to teach, that they would be able to guide you and bring you along, because that's what a good teacher does. They teach you how to follow your instincts, how to lean on the skills that come naturally to you, because every dancer has different skills that come natural. I'm always blown away actually when my newbies come in and like they do something and I'm like, whoa, you did that so well. Like that went really well for you. That was good. We're going to use that and then we're going to build momentum off of that. That's how we want to roll when we get into the dance studio. We don't want to overthink like, I didn't do that good. I didn't. No, who got you so used to saying that about yourself? It's like the same idea of like when someone compliments you, we're like, oh no, not me. No, thank you. Practice that this week when someone compliments you. Practice saying thank you. Practice receiving what it feels like to be admired by someone else. When someone compliments your style or your scarf, thank you. Thank you, I got it here. Oh, thank you so much. Aw. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Another thing just to think about when you're learning choreography is we are taught to chase the steps. What if we chased the feeling? So that same example that I told you about when we were doing the Wicked dance the other night, and I just like let my body go. I was trusting the feeling that like my body was moving right because I wasn't doing it to the mirror, so I wasn't seeing. And I was doing it to the audience, so basically the people left over from class. So I was really allowing myself to be like, oh yeah, I remember my arm in that placement and what that felt like. But because we get so bogged down with everything that we think about in terms of movement and then our thoughts about it, our mean thoughts about it, we're thinking too much and we're not letting our body just do for us. So your homework for the next week, the next month, is to lean into your body. Lean into the trust that you can have, that you have. You had it. Because I know exactly the time you had it, and it was when you were a kid. That's the time where we trust our bodies the most. We go on the monkey bars. We don't give a F whether we're going to do a skip 2 bars, skip 3 bars. But we'll try it. We'll figure it out. Our body will land. We don't care to get hurt. We don't care to fall. I mean, granted, we do have like different ligaments then. They're like more bendy. But we have the ability to play more because we don't care. We haven't grown that part of our conscious mind where we care about what other people think. So what does it look like for you to not care about what other people think? What does it look like for you to trust your body? And paint the picture. Have a nice journal session on this and write about it. Really, what would it feel like to trust yourself when you step into something new? When you step into something, maybe you're stepping into an interview. Maybe you're stepping into a tour of some sort. Maybe you had to step up to the plate, fill in for someone, and they're like, you're going to give a tour to these. Who knows? Step into the energy that is, you already know it. You already have it. Your body's like, I'm finally being called on. She finally needs me. Don't forget that concept. So lean into it. And I can't wait to hear how this goes for you, because whenever I lean into my body, and I do have to check myself sometimes. I do have to be like, wait, you're doing that thing where you're thinking. Stop thinking, do. And whenever I get to do that, I have so much more fun. And I hope that you do too. And if this was helpful for you, it would mean the world to me if you left a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It is the only way the podcast can get shared and seen amongst people just like you working on their dance journey. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the dance floor.